WJJG Elmhurst.
Come join us here at WJJG. Just lend us an ear, and you will hear the news from far and near. The place to be is WJJG. Hi everyone, this is Frank Bizzani for WJJG, your hometown station for talk, music, news, sports, and a barrel of laughs. We'll make you think, smile, get your dander up, and most of all, keep you well informed. So whatever you're doing, let us keep you company. And remember, you're never alone when you tune to WJJG. We have programs for you, programs that will stimulate, cause debate, motivate. We will never bore you with the same old savoir-faire. We're on the air to make your day a little bit better. Joe Gentile, one man started it all. His name's on the line each and every time we decide to speak our mind. Join us here, see why we can guarantee the place to be. The place for you and me is WJJG. 1530 on your AM dial, and drive safely.
It's beginning to sound a lot like Christmas. Join us Christmas Day, Thursday, December 25th, for the 8th annual Hometown Christmas, brought to you by Joe Gentile, Carol Gentile, and Chicago's AM 1530 WJJG. I'll be your host, Mike Baker, in the Forgotten 45s, with your holiday requests, dedications, and season's greetings. Just give us a call at 708-493-1530. It's our holiday gift to you, the 8th annual Hometown Christmas, Christmas Day, Thursday, December 25th, from Chicago's AM 1530 WJJG.
Happy holidays. The new WJJG Elmhurst.
And you'll find the rhythms on time. Line after line, going straight to your mind. So type in the pace is what we're all about. Moving your way through the bases, no doubt. Roll up the groove, melody is a gentle drop. The knowledge on this instrumental. Cast your doubts about house music. You got the body, so why don't you use it? Naturally, swinging your thing to the floor. Cause that's how we pump the intro for the strong.
I've missed each and every face. Come on and play my music. Let's turn on every love light. in the place. It's time I found myself totally surrounded in your circles. Oh, my friend. Can sing me home. An easy highway, traveling where the western winds can fly. Somebody tried to tell me, but the man forgot to tell me why. I gotta count on being gone. Come on, mama. Come on, daddy. Feel what you want from me. Yeah. I'm dead strong. I'll be please celebrate me home. Give me a number. I've never gone. Let me know where I belong. Sing me home, celebrate me home. Give me a number, please. Celebrate me home.
Good morning here at WJJG, Chicago's hometown station, AM 1530. Our phone number is 708-493-1530. Again, you got the paper on the refrigerator. My great engineer here, Matt. Yours truly, George Bliss, sitting in today for none other than Joe Gentile, the famous Joe Gentile, the recently retired Joe Gentile. First and foremost, happy Thanksgiving to Joe and Carol. And that was Strike It Up. We started out with Maddie, and of course, Celebrate Me Home. And I think everybody's home for Thanksgiving today. It's going to be unbelievable. It really is. I didn't get invited to Joe and Carol's today for some reason. I don't know why. How do you get invited to those things?
I don't know. I didn't either, so I wouldn't worry about it.
But we're going to play lots of music today. We're going to be here for about 2 or 3 hours. We're going to have in about 5 or 7 minutes the number one sports guy in the world. At least he'll tell you that. Mike North from Sports Radio 670, The Score. I think Mike is raking leaves right now at his beautiful palatial estate up there in wherever he lives, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And then we're going to have on the executive producer of the Farm Aid concert, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, which is going to be on our famous Channel 11 here in Chicago, WTTW, also known as Public Broadcasting. And I know that that's where you watch Sesame Street and all that. But tonight, Thursday, Thanksgiving night at 8 o'clock Central, we're going to have an incredible 2-hour show, a Farm Aid. And this entire show was videotaped in high definition, and we're going to talk about that in a few seconds by none other than our special guest at about 10:30. His name is Jim WOLANDE, and you're going to love talking to him. Well, I'll tell you, there's so many things going on in history, but Thanksgiving is one of the most, special holidays in America because it's purely American. I mean, they talk about, all these wars and all these battles in Europe and all that, but Thanksgiving is America's own, and we love it. And I don't like to eat a lot of turkey for some reason, Matt. When I eat it, it has the chemical in it, what they call it, bleposaine or something.
I have no idea, but it makes you sleepy, George.
It makes you so sleepy, it's unbelievable. It really is. It really is. So, what's going on in the world of radio, Matt? I mean, this station's beautiful. All of a sudden, I haven't been here in a couple months, and Joe's got about 650,000 pictures here.
Yeah, we've made a shrine to Joe so that we can surround ourselves with Joe at all times. It's great. It's nicely decorated. The interns came in and decorated.
Awesome. Well, I'm traveling last week in Wisconsin, and I look in the Chicago Sun-Times. They actually get up there, and I see Joe Gentile gets mentioned again in Michael Sneed's column for his 63rd birthday, I think it was. So, happy birthday, Joe. I know it wasn't too long ago. That's for sure.
He's 35 now, I believe.
He's 35. And what they've done to this station is unbelievable. If you have any requests, we're going to be here playing music all day. We're actually kind of preempting the sounds of Sinatra. And we don't mean to do that because he's only the greatest singer that ever lived, but we are going to play some Sinatra. We have every Sinatra song in the world here. I mean, this is a museum here.
Yep.
And my favorite one is Bewitched. That's my favorite.
Everyone out there, the Sounds of Sinatra is preempted, but it will be heard this afternoon.
Oh, fantastic.
For 2 hours.
Fantastic. What about these crazy, silly historians that they talk about? All these history things that they talk about at Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah, we read that on the morning show. Go through it, George.
Well, let's talk about it. Okay, the thing below is, this is what's going on at Thanksgiving. Historians say that Thanksgiving started at Plymouth Colony in Massachusetts in 1621. Okay? Not true.
No.
Not true.
Wrong.
Historians say that Thanksgiving started at a Berkeley plantation in Richmond, Virginia in 1619. Not true.
Not true. Wrong.
Historians say that Thanksgiving started in 1541 in El Paso, Texas. Ooh. So which of the three did it happen? El Paso, Texas.
I like Texas.
Oh, my goodness. Isn't that amazing? That's amazing. Here's what happened with the turkeys. The turkeys were sitting out there in the range in Oklahoma and Texas and Illinois and Carbondale.
Yeah.
And they just got in the way of all the Indians. They just
got
slaughtered them all.
Why not? Big birds.
Because they were never that good years ago, the meat. It's not good. In fact, Joe Gentile was telling me that the meat is so dry. If it's dry, he doesn't like it.
No.
He wants it to be moist.
Yeah.
So if anybody's got any ideas on how to keep the meat moist.
I think basting a turkey is what you do.
Basting?
I think so.
Oh, my goodness. I wonder what Rob Sherman thinks about that. Our good friend Rob Sherman, who just left the studio, and there were 600 policemen out there with subpoenas
for him.
You know who he talked to this morning? If you haven't heard it just recently, he talked to Senator George McGovern.
Yeah.
Now, that was my era.
That's not me. Huh?
Yeah, no, that was 1972, at the peak of the Vietnam War. I was a college student in those days.
Mm-hmm.
And he won the nomination against some pretty strong people. He was friends with Hubert Humphrey in 1968.
Mm-hmm.
He ran in 72, and he got smashed by Nixon. I'm going to say within a couple percentage points. He lost every state except his home state.
Well, at least everyone knows where he's from.
What would have happened if George McGovern would have been president? I think Joe Gentile would have been very happy. Just kidding, Joe. The new Rush Limbaugh over here, Joe Gentile. And, that was funny. What was that, Matt? That was a weird one. Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to go to music, and then we're going to be on with Mike North right after this. Give us a call here. George Bliss sitting in today at Chicago's hometown station, WJJG, 708-493-1530. We'll be right back after this beautiful music. AM 1530, Chicago's hometown station. La La Means I Love You, a Chicago group. And if anybody knows the name of that group, I'm going to give you something really cool. 708-493-1530. 708-493-1530. You're never going to believe who's been calling in. All kinds of people. Joel Zimbaroff called in while we were at the break from Let Us Entertain You Corporation, and Joel's going to call back. We're going to talk to him because he's one of the most famous restaurateurs in the world, and a mystery guest may be calling in. A mystery guest may be calling in. You never know. So anyway, we're here at the beautiful studios of Joseph J. Gentile Broadcasting in Elmhurst, Illinois, and we're here today filling in for whoever wants to be filled in for, but this is brought to you by Giacchino's, the most wonderful Italian food and pizza restaurant in the western suburb, and we want to thank all our friends over at Giacchino's. We're going to have Jimmy Wolande in here from Farm Aid in a few minutes, and it's going to be awesome. You know, I was talking to Matt earlier today about all these fake and phony myths about Thanksgiving, okay? All right? Now, one of the big myths is that Plymouth Rock is actually cracked. The historians found out that Plymouth Rock, in fact, is not cracked. Can you believe that? Is not cracked. It's just the most amazing thing. So I'm going to go out to Plymouth, Massachusetts, and make sure that it's not cracked. That's what I'm going to do, all right? And there's all kinds of things going on here. We're at WJJG here in Elmhurst, and we're going to have Jimmy Wolande here in the studios here in beautiful Berkeley, Illinois, in just a few minutes. And we're going to have Mike North on as well. You know what? I was listening this morning to Joe, and I was marveling at how much he actually knows about military history. Because what does he do? He goes to St. Ignatius High School in the World War II era, gets into the Navy. I suspect he probably went up to Great Lakes. And, he does it all. So, Joe, one of these days I'm going to get a military historian on this show with you, and we're going to talk all about it. Anyway, we're going to have a special... I think we got him on. Not yet. We're going to have Mike North on in a few seconds. Anyway, I was thinking about, the American history scene and everything, and how much we talk about the military here at this station. And we're going to have a special guy come on right now, none other than my good buddy who was probably raking the leaves, right, Mike? Good morning, Mike. What's up?
George, what's happening?
What the heck are we doing? Raking leaves for BB?
You know what I'm doing? I had a new driveway put down, a brick driveway.
Oh my God!
When you first get something new, it gets a little dirty. The guys just left yesterday. There's leaves, stuff. I'm just pushing. I'm brooming it off, George. I'm doing a little work, getting a little workout before the big turkey.
Mike, there's nothing wrong with the driveway. It was beautiful. I was there at a huge party you had for you and Doug Buffone's Wise Guy celebration, not even 3-4 months ago, and the driveway was mint condition perfect.
Well, you know what? There was a couple things going wrong with it, and we decided to get it bricked. Forget about the cement. I said, let's get it bricked. It will make the house look nicer. And I decided to do it, and we did it this week, and they got done. They did a great job.
Well, in case anybody fell off a planet here or came in from Mars, we're on the line with, I'm personal about it, Mike, the best sports commentator we've ever had in this city for sure. And I've listened to lots of people in Los Angeles and New York, and they've got some good people out there in those big cities, Mike, but you've done it incredible for 11 years. The story is amazing, and you're at the score of course, Sports Radio 670, and you keep pinching yourself, right? Because you freaking get better every day, damn it.
Especially today, though.
Really?
On Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot to be thankful for, and, everything it's been like a fairy tale. I pinch myself every day. You get caught up in the business sometimes. You worry about ratings. You worry about personnel. You worry about the same things that maybe football coaches worry about. But you know what? You worry about it, but you never lose sight of the fact that, you're very fortunate, you're very lucky, and I got a beautiful wife, and I got a beautiful family.
I know that, the famous BB.
Yeah, and I got my dog is 14 years old today.
Oh, my, you're kidding.
No, she's 98. So, I mean, most people aren't fortunate to have their dog 14 years, so we've been fortunate. So, we're very, very happy, and, you pinch yourself, and you just say, you work hard, you put your nose to the grindstone, and you let the chips fall where they may, and so far, I've been very fortunate.
You sure have, and that's the famous Licorice dog, and that, people know, Mike, that your company is Licorice Limited Enterprises, and it's incredible. I was over to see Licorice the other day, and what a cute little dog. Now, I don't own a dog, but if I had one, I'd get one just like that.
Well, you know what the thing is, she's a mixed breed, and I always said, a lot of people get the full breeds, but the full breeds don't live as long. And I'll tell you, me and B were out looking for a dog, and I mean, you got to look at it this way. She's 14. Me and B been married 26.
Wow.
She's been with us over half our married life.
Oh my goodness!
So
I never thought of that in those terms.
And when you don't have kids like we don't, they are a huge part of your family. I mean, not just a huge part of me and B, but like today when our family comes over for Thanksgiving, everybody loves her, and the same thing. So she's just like another kid, You
know it. So, Mike, what happens 11 years ago? You're working at a small station. You got the break to come into, at the time, 8:20 a.m., if I remember correctly, the score. And you're with an incredible partner. I mean, Dan Jiggets. I mean, who's better than Dan Jiggets? A famous Chicago Bear that played, came from Harvard University, all kinds of accolades for him, and you played with the famous Walter Payton. And you and Danny just tore it up immediately, ripped out every competitor they ever had in Chicago. And how many years were you with Dan? About
we were with we were together for 7.5 years.
7.5 years.
And what a class act! I miss him to this day. He's a class act.
Yeah.
Just a phenomenal guy. What you see on the air is what you see off the air.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they put us together. I had my own show on 1240 WSBC, and they decided that the owners of WSBC, Danny Lee, wanted to start a sports station, and they put us together. They had him sit in on one of my shows. They liked what they heard, and they tried it. And this was all new to us. And the first concept of the show, we thought we were never going to take phone calls. We thought that the way it was set up was we were going to do interviews, just like a Jim Rome type of thing.
Sure.
And that's the way they wanted to set it up. And I thought that the way to do it and to get better results is to have listeners call in, have participation. Make them your guests. And after Danny, I went solo. And then I'm with a great guy now. I've been very, very, very blessed to be with two partners that are outstanding. I mean, Danny was 7.5 years, and now Doug Buffone. Just a great...
Two Chicago Bear legends. And it's funny about, you and I talk about corporate America a lot. Mm-hmm. They had you on with Dan because the young rookie, and then he took
Right.
over the Chicago, blew everybody away. They go, oh, let's make him solo. Let's see how good he is. And
Right.
You blew him away from
Right.
noon till 4.
And then they said, you're going afternoons. And I said, well,
Okay.
I said, if I'm going to go afternoons, I want to do it. I had heard rumors they were thinking of getting rid of Doug.
Yeah.
And I said, I really respect Doug, and I've known Doug for a long time. And I said, you know what? If they're going to do that, I said, I'd rather go with Doug.
Yeah.
And so Doug and I are together, and we have a great partnership. We work hard. We come to work. We come to play every day, unlike the Bulls. And well, I mean, we come to work every day. I think most Chicagoans are disappointed in the fact that not that the Bulls are losing, but that most Chicagoans go to work every day.
Sure.
And they work hard every day. You go to work. I go to work. Everybody goes to work. My dad went to work. And they don't want to hear people whine that don't put in the full effort. So that's the thing we're disappointed. But Doug's been outstanding, and the score. I mean, you look at it, George. You know radio. The score has been together. This is going into our 12th year.
11, 12 years, yeah.
A lot of radio stations, 75% change formats before 12 years is up.
Well, you know what I was going to say, Mike? What they did with you and Danny Jiggs at first was 10 till 2, I believe, right?
Right,
Mike?
10 to 2.
Okay, so now they switched you to noon to 4. You smashed the competition on that one. I go, oh, what the heck? You think they'll keep Mike from 12 to 4? No, they move him from 2 to 6:30.
Right. Well, see,
and you dominated every time slot. So
well,
that
what
tells you
what they did was, and we've been very blessed. We have good competition across the dial.
Not really, Mike.
Well, I'm just saying that.
I mean, they try.
We've won, but the thing that's phenomenal is that Doug and I have won our first 4 books together. We've only been together a little over a year. People don't realize that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
A lot of people think we've been together 2-3 years. So for somebody to go into afternoons like me and Doug did against somebody else who had been afternoons for 12 years on our station, and who had built an audience, to win the first 4 books is very fortunate. I'm not going to say we're ever going to win every book because even Robert De Niro makes a bad movie. Even Sandy Koufax lost.
Or, that was a bad game.
Everybody has a bad day. But so far so good. But I think the thing that it makes the score is that we welcome the people in just like you'd welcome the people in if you owned a restaurant or whatever.
Sure.
And we're very, very, very fortunate that we've been together this long because, like I said, we've seen guys come and go. We've seen formats come and go. And we've seen stations come and go.
Sure. Mike, the one thing I do miss, and I don't know if Drew Hayes, your boss, is ever going to care, but do you miss the transitions between the segments? I thought that was awesome when you would come on with Danny Jiggetts and go head-to-head with, in those days, Terry Gross.
That
was fun, don't you think?
We do, but you know what happened? Especially now, with corporate America and with the commercial load. We would come on at to sign off at 2, and Boris and McNeil would come on at 2.
Yeah.
And we'd go back and forth. It was only supposed to last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes. Well, what was happening was things were so heated. There was so much going on. Sometimes there was animosity between the hosts that we'd go till 2:20. The next thing you know, we're backlogged on commercials. So,
who cared, Mike? It was awesome.
Yeah, you're right. And maybe someday we'll be back.
Yeah, you guys are. I know you're doing a lot of remotes, and you have a great song you just did.
We're the kings of remotes. Doug and I during the summer, I think something like 27, 28 remotes in 3 months.
Yeah.
Which is unprecedented in radio.
Well,
we've done more remotes than any duo or any people in radio history. I mean, we go all over the place, but I like that. I like going out. I like meeting people. I like having fun. Sometimes does it get weary? Yeah, we're human. But most of the time, it's really a lot of fun.
Mike, people don't understand how incredibly technically difficult it is to do a remote at a Hooters. Now they think I'm crazy, but the equipment alone takes like 2 hours to set up. I've helped with the guys. The technical lines going back and forth, and there's so much can go wrong. It's amazing.
Greg Lane is the best in the business.
Greg Hedgehopper Lane, John Carey, and the staff.
We missed him. Yeah, we had a different guy the other day, and he did a pretty good job too, Nick Kepner. But Greg has been with us all over the world. He's been with us in London. He's been with us, to the Super Bowls. He's been with us everywhere. We're going to Spain in February. I mean,
my goodness.
I mean, so he's been with us everywhere, and he really means a lot to the program. And the engineer is very important because if one little thing goes wrong, you're off the air.
Well, okay, my favorite remote was, from a historical standpoint, and I'm pretty sure I'm right on this, I don't remember anybody ever going to the Playboy Mansion for any reason.
Right. We went, I believe a couple guys have since, but we went there. And it was Jesse Rogers, who's my boy, was my former producer, and it was I believe I was solo.
I think you were, Mike.
I
yeah.
was solo.
Yeah.
And it was Hugh Hefner. It was the Millennium Celebration.
That's what it was, yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. And it was, every guy's dream to go to Playboy Mansion. To be honest with you, I wasn't that impressed. I'll be honest with you.
What didn't you like about specifically?
You know what? It was too plastic.
Really?
I mean, nothing against
Literally.
Hef. I love Hef.
Yeah.
I love Hef. But you know what? I mean, it was filled with phony people. And I'm not saying Hugh was phony. There's not a phony bone in Hugh Hefner's body.
Right.
But the chance to meet him, and I brought him a Steinmetz T-shirt.
Wow.
And a Steinmetz cup, and a Steinmetz sweatpants, and stuff like this. And usually he takes gifts from people, they said, and he puts them, in this room. That's off to the main door there, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He had the guy bring it up to his room. So I got him the Steinmetz T-shirt, and he went to Steinmetz, and
Northwest
and
side
he was
there.
really
Yeah.
touched by that. So it was good, but I think I think the remote I'll remember most was the remote we did at Jordan's.
Yeah. Jordan's restaurant.
The day he retired.
Oh, yeah. Crazy. I went there. It was crazy.
Yeah.
There was police all over the place. Oh, my God.
The day he retired, Jim Lefebvre got fired on that same day.
Wow.
And the White Sox had lost the playoff game that night. The night before.
Yeah.
That was a big day. But the day that Jordan retired, to be at Jordan's restaurant, I won't forget that.
The screaming and the yelling. You must have a headache when you leave these places with all the cigar smoke, of course.
You know what? Doesn't bother me, George. I just, you go as long as you can. I mean, if the score ended tomorrow, I could not complain.
It's not going to happen because,
Well, you never know, George. You know corporate America.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've thought in your life there
they
were
would find somewhere to put you.
Yeah, I'm sure you thought there were certain things that were never going to happen.
Sure.
And because of corporate America, I'm not a big fan of corporate America. I liked it when Danny Lee owned it better than anything.
Sure.
I mean, you want to take out, you want to buy lunch for 4 people. You got to go through a big rigmarole to do that. I mean, Danny Lee used to say, "Did you buy lunch?" He goes, "I go, yeah, I bought lunch for 4 of the staff." He goes, "All right, it'll be in your check."
Yeah, absolutely.
Now you got to go to New York. You got to call New York for this. You got to call New York for that. So it is a pain in the rear end. But hey, we're working. I'm happy. I'm not complaining. It's Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. And now I'm going to cringe when I'm going to ask you this, but how can these guys, these players, complain about the new coach that's going to be Skiles here?
Well, that tells you.
These frickin' lazy bastards.
That tells you they have no character.
I'm really pissed off.
That tells you they have no character.
Oh my God!
What you do with those players, you get rid of them.
Oh.
You got to get rid of them. You got to get rid of Danielle Marshall. You got to get rid of Corey Blunt. You got to get rid of the guys that complain. You got to get rid of Jalen Rose. I keep Jamal Crawford. He's a kid. He doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
And
He's
you know what?
influenced by the goofs.
And here's the thing. A lot of these guys will benefit from him. They don't understand that. But he's going to make Ditka look like a choir boy.
Oh boy!
And this guy don't mess around.
Yeah, I know.
I followed his career at Michigan State. I loved him.
Yeah, he was good at Phoenix too. Didn't have much.
He was great at Phoenix. Played on the Magic. He had a good 10-year NBA career. He had 30 assists in one game, George.
Oh my God!
I'd like to see the Bulls get 30 assists in 5 games.
Oh my goodness!
It won't happen.
Can you imagine what he's going to tell Eddie Curry, the kid from
He's going to tell him to get in shape and be a man.
Yeah.
I heard the other day Danielle Marshall says, we want to be treated like men. Well,
what is he talking about?
We're all men. I go, well, wait a minute. What constitutes a man? That you got a penis and you make a paycheck? No. What constitutes a man is that you live up to your responsibilities, you get paid a lot of money, and that you play hard, that you go to work and put in a full day's work for an honest day's pay. And they ain't doing that. So are they men? I don't believe all of them are men.
We've got an owner here, you know him well, Joe Gentile, who's listening to you. He worked in the auto business, okay? 53 years. Now, I've known him for 15 years. I've never seen him miss a day.
Right. That's the way I am. I've never missed a day.
You haven't. I know, Mike, you've had some headaches and some flus, and you make it.
Well, I'm liquor free.
You are. Tell
the
people so they know here on WJJG what you're talking about, because you had some drinks in your day.
Well, you know what? I was getting. I'm not going to say I was getting out of control, because I was.
Maybe kind of.
But I was drinking. Yeah. I was starting to drink every day. And I was drinking a couple days a week, a lot. And I'm not here to preach. I'm just telling you what I did. I just quit. I said I will drink if I go on vacation, but when I'm in Chicago or I'm in the state of Illinois, if I don't leave the state, I ain't drinking. It's been about a month and a week. and I feel great. This is the first Thanksgiving I've woke up without a hangover in like 20 years. So I can actually talk to you and not slur my words, and my speech pattern's good, and I don't smell like liquor, and I had a good run, George. I mean,
what was the reason, truthfully, in your soul? Tell me, why did you decide now?
I really got tired of feeling lousy the next day.
It just got to you, finally.
I got to be honest with you. I probably worked in the 11 years. I'd say 4 of those years, because I probably was hungover 2 days a week. I probably worked 4 years with hangovers.
Oh, my goodness.
So, I'm saying accumulative days.
Well, here's a great story. You work your butt off. You go to the remotes. You do a lot of personal appearances for charity on behalf of you and BB and all the great things you...
That's my girl. My girl's the one, boy.
Absolutely. And then on Sundays, you come out in the summer in 90-degree weather, play great like the major players. I know because I've covered softball for 15 years. And you play a big game at 11 in the morning up on the northwest side. And you're frickin' still good, okay? I tell people you're 50-plus.
51.
You can play with most guys 30s, 20s,
yeah,
no problem.
and I'm playing in a couple leagues this year, too, and we lost 2 games. I won a football championship this year.
Oh, listen to this. Basketball, football, you've done
I was starting to feel snake bit because I had lost in the semifinals in the 50 and over league of Washington in basketball, and we lost 2 championship games in softball. But, B says, well, Jesus, you're 51, you're getting to the championship game. I go, that ain't enough. If you're playing to win.
That's right.
So finally we won one in football. So I'm saying to myself, I'm to be able to still play sports. My buddy Carmen Catino's been very ill right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's been very sick.
Tell us about that, Mike. We'll put in a prayer today for him.
Well, he's my attorney, and he's been my longtime friend, and he's bailed me out of a few tight jams back in the day, but we've always been very, very close. He started coming to Hot Talk State a long time ago, and he had heart surgery, and I guess something screwed up.
Oh, boy.
It's sort of like a stroke type thing, and he's an attorney, and he can't talk and everything else. And we're thinking, I just talked to a guy outside, we're thinking of having a fundraiser for him, but Carmen. Carmen's one of the great guys who's ever lived, so we're going to try to put something together for him and get something going,
Carmen, if you're listening, God bless you. You're in our prayers, and I know we'll give the Italian prayer today. So
what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Oh, we're going to have a big turkey. It's Greek people. We cook
the
turkey,
Greeks.
too.
I just saw my Fat Creek wedding for the first time.
Did you like it? No.
Yeah, I mean, like Italians.
Well, I've got that.
Everybody's the same.
They are. We're going to have I think every ethnic group has a little twist, though, right?
Sure. Every ethnic group's got some little.
We'll have some lasagna thrown in there. We'll have some Greek cheese thrown in there today. Okay, real quick, Derek Lee. What do you think? Good deal, right?
Good deal.
Oh man,
he's
Gold
28
Glover.
years old. He's an alley hitter who hit 31 home runs. If he had played at Wrigley, would have hit 40. I mean, he hit the alleys. I think it's a great trade. Heaps up joy. I heard about him for 3 years. I looked, I saw, I said goodbye.
The big Mark Grace
And Jim Henry's great. And Jim Henry's a Park Ridge resident. So
there you go.
I'm going to be running into him sometime soon, too. I saw him. The Maine South had a game. I just, he was at the Maine South game last week. I just missed him. But
I know your nephew.
We got a team playing for
your nephew Serwinski was on the great.
He was on the '95 team. That
they won it all.
Right, they won it all. They started the ball rolling for this funny program. So
wow,
everything's going good, George. It's almost scary.
It is, Mike. God bless you. We love you, and we're going to talk to you real soon, and maybe we'll go to Spain with you. What the heck?
Yeah, why not, George?
We got to get you to Athens, Greece. What do you think of that for a remote for the Olympics?
I'd like to go to that nightclub, the Parthenon.
There you go.
That's what Shaq said. They said, were you at the Parthenon when you went to Greece? He goes, I didn't go to that nightclub.
Okay. Well, God bless you. Say hi to everybody, the family, Nux and Louie and
all right,
Kenny and the whole boys.
And happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Okay, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Mike. It's Mike North from The Score, Sports Radio 670. You hear him every day from noon to 4 on the old 50,000 water out here in the western suburbs. We'll be right back right after this.
WJJG Elmhurst.
Thinking about Giacchino's, they have parties for between 25 to 40 people. After a funeral, they have lunches, parties, communion, confirmation parties, small wedding parties, and office parties. Parties for all occasions are in their beautiful room that holds between 25 and 50 people. And the prices start at $9.95 per person from soup to nuts. That's a fantastic deal at the great Giacchino's restaurant. Of course, we've been associated with Giacchino's for over 30 years. Their phone number is 544 0380, and they're at 5201 St. Charles Road in beautiful downtown Bellwood. Go to Giacchino's for all your extra parties. They will take special care of you, I promise.
Well, here's a beautiful amount of news for you. The Frank Sinatra 2-hour show on this WJJG from 10 to 12 every Thursday is now being sponsored by the Great Giacchino Restaurant, my favorite restaurant for over 32 years.
I'm dying to meet you someday. You know, you hit all four corners of the city. You are so active. I says, one of these days I'm going to jump into the spot he's coming and take a look at this boy and shake his hand.
My goodness gracious. Well.
But you're the greatest.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow.
And you didn't want to take this call.
Joe Gentile.
I want to tell you something. You're going to get it.
Mornings on AM 1530 WJJG.
One nation under God. Those two words, under God, were added to our Pledge of Allegiance in 1954. I like that. I think those words give our pledge a little flair. There are some people that oppose this and want to stifle our free speech. They're the same little fascists that have been trying to destroy our country from within for decades. I don't like them. I try to speak out against them every chance I get. That's one reason why I wrote this nonfiction adventure, Angry White Male and the Horse He Rode In On, by Rick Beseda. Take a walk through history with me and learn about our heritage and about the type of men it's going to take to win this war on terrorism. Neighborhood guys with attitude. Available from First Books Library. Call toll-free 888-280-7715. Also available through Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, and other bookstores. For a free preview and order information, visit our website at www.angry-white-mail.com. Thanks, Joe. Let's roll.
Hey, my name's Bob. Yeah, hi. You know, I used to be frustrated because my business wasn't making any money. I knew if people just knew I was out there, that they would come in and I could rake it in, you know? I spent a lot of time feeling sorry myself and down on myself and wishing someone would be on my side. Then I realized someone is. Joe Gentile over at WJJG AM 1530. I called him up, talked to him personally, and he did an ad for me that more than doubled my business. So now that I have money, I just don't need you people anymore. Later. When are people going to learn that business isn't that hard? All you have to do is call AM 1530 at 708-493-1530. We'll do an ad for you, and people will come on in. Call now.
When I grow up, I want to be a veterinarian.
This is Illinois State Treasurer Judy Bartopinka for Bright Start College Savings Program.
A veterinarian? I may be a police officer or a teacher.
Bright Start offers our children flexibility to attend any eligible college in the U.S.
College costs a lot of money. More than a piggy bank. Like $100 probably.
With Bright Start, you can begin saving with an initial investment of only $25.
My mom and dad told me I could be whatever I want. Definitely a veterinarian.
Let's help our kids go to college and realize their dreams. Call 1-877-43-BRIGHT or visit us at brightstartsavings.com for more details. Every child deserves a chance. Bright Start helps give them one.
A veterinarian or a president.
Investments in Bright Start.
Or if you can't hold a book or turn a page, please call for more information. Contact the Voices of Vision Talking Book Center at 1-800-227-0625.
Oh, well, hello, America. This is your former president, along with my good friend Johnny Carson, here to tell you about the Dave Brandon Show. Isn't that right, Johnny? Right you are, Ron. If your company or group has an event coming up in 2003 or 2004, anything from banquets to award ceremonies or company parties, the Dave Brandon Show provides the perfect comedy relief. Oh, yes, that's correct, Johnny. You see, along with us as your co-stars, Dave's celebrity guest list includes... Hey, I gotta tell you, man, it's me, Jack Nicholson. Andy Roney here. You know what I hate? I hate just about everything.
Hey, all right, I get no respect. It's me, Rodney.
Yes, plus many, many more celebrities. Back to you, Johnny.
Thanks a lot, Ron. And don't forget Karnak the Magnificent and his hermetically sealed envelopes. For more information on how you can book the show, call 866-599-6626 or go to our website at www.davebrannonshow.com. Ron?
Yes, that's 866-599-6626. Well, I'll sure remember that number. It's 866-599-6626. Goodbye.
Flood Brothers, you can't beat them. Flood Brothers is one of the last family-owned and operated independent, not owned by a national company. Solid waste, garbage, recycling, and yard waste firms serving the Chicago metropolitan area. There are over 15 family members working in all phases of operation. We provide services in 50 communities. Our grandfather started the industry 70 years ago. We are here to stay. Your garbage is our bread and butter. Call us at 1-773-626-5800 or 1-630-261-0400. And Joe Gentile highly recommends the Flood Brothers.
Stereo AM 1530, WJJG.
And we're back here in the studios in beautiful Elmhurst, Illinois. You heard at WJJG, AM 1530, Chicago's hometown station. Yours truly, George Bliss, sitting in today. And on the phone with me now is none other than my good friend, Robin Fina. Hi, Robin.
Hey, George, how are you?
Fantastic. I didn't want you to wait that long, but we got so many commercials here,
No problem. I was enjoying them.
Yeah. Well, on the line is, as I said, Robin Fina, a wonderful person that I met recently. And you're with RC Crown Productions. I think I have that right, Robin?
That's absolutely correct.
And what you do is something really cool. I'm going to let you talk about it, but you run international beauty pageants, and there's some good ones coming up here in the January time frame, I understand.
Yeah, we're going to be on January 31st and February 1st at the Palmer House Hilton downtown.
Tell us about the categories. Take all the time you want, because it's fascinating how you put various categories together from, juniors and misses and miss and the whole 9 yards. It's really great.
Terrific. George, what we have is we have 3 different categories that will be competing that pageant weekend from 2 different states. So what we're going to have is we're going to have 6 pageants going on simultaneously. The international system is a full pageant system. We have a teen category, which is teens from the age of 13 to 19. We have a Miss category, which is young women aged 20 to 35. And then we also have a Mrs. category, which the age category for the Misses is 21 to 56, but they have to have been married a minimum of 6 months. So we have
6 months, that's it?
that will be going on at the same time.
Fantastic. And now, how did you start this, and how many years you've been into it? And give me some good stories, because I know you have some incredible candidates in pageant beauties, and it must be very difficult. You probably work on this day and night. I know you've got some awesome sponsors besides.
Yeah, we've been really fortunate. In 2000, George, I was crowned Mrs. Illinois International.
All right.
And I'm like, yeah, that's all right. This is cool.
That's very cool.
At the when I got back from the national pageants, my current directors at the time decided to retire, and so the directorship became available. It was an opportunity that I jumped on because I really believe in what this system stands for. The focus on community and family is not just words on a page or on a website. It's the commitment of the entire system, all the way, to the top, from the executive directors at the international level down to, each of our contestants out in the community, doing, thousands of hours of community service.
Absolutely. So you won it in year 2000, the millennium year.
That's right. I was like, woo! Very,
Wow.
very exciting.
How many contestants do you get approximately in each of these categories?
It really depends on each year. Generally speaking, we have anywhere from 20 to 50 contestants in each category.
Wow.
So it's going to be quite interesting.
How do you break it down basically between your, I'm going to say some dumb things, the evening gowns and interviews and things of that nature? How do you segment that?
Well, you mean for scoring purposes?
Yes,
or
ma'am.
For...
How do you score it basically?
Okay. For the teen and the miss, they have 4 different areas of competition. They have their personal interview, which is the majority of the score for all 3 pageants. For the teen and the miss, their interview score is worth 40% of their total overall score. During that interview, each contestant meets 5 minutes with each judge. That gives the judges, a fair amount of time to actually probe into the contestants' paperwork and get them to talk about their platform. Then that's all done off stage the day before the preliminary competition.
Okay.
Then on the preliminary competition, each of the girls will come out in an opening number and introduce themselves. They'll then compete in 3 other categories. The first category that they'll compete in is what we call fitness wear, which is they can wear anything from a unitard to like a sports bra top and bike pants or bike shorts. They're scored on their overall physical fitness, things like, height and body shape are not as important of a consideration as, just overall fitness, healthiness, and the way that they carry themselves on stage.
Very good. There's guys here already that want to be the judges.
I know. I got people lining up. The next area of competition, then, George, is the fun fashion wear. Now, that's that category. The girls can wear anything they want, basically, that kind of reflects their personality. And you'll see stuff that's very formal with rhinestones and lots of glitz to someone, with very plain. But again, they're not judged on the outfit, but how they hold themselves in that outfit and the originality.
Wow, that's amazing. So the interview is a big part of it, about 40%.
40%.
And the fitness wear and other things. And then there's always that X factor that, kind of that thing that, wow, that's all together, right? It must be very difficult.
You know what? The judges are going to have a difficult time. What we do is we pre-screen all of the contestants. We have an advisory board that meets and, reviews applications and photos before selecting individuals to represent their area. Once we have an area, like if we have a title holder from, say, Glen Ellen, well, then there cannot be another title holder from Glen Ellen. So, there's a screening process before the contestants get accepted. Once they've been accepted, then they can actually start, using their title and, promoting their platform even before they get to the state competition.
Fantastic. That's really awesome. I was looking at your sponsors on your webpage.
Mm-hmm.
You have Pivot Point International, Infinite Global Infrastructures. That sounds pretty good. I don't know what they do, but we want to give them a plug anyway. And then Physicians Body Sculpting Center, the Advanced Laser Center, Vanguard Community Management, William Ryan Homes, I've heard of them for sure, Allcom Aluminum Components, Michael Nicholas Inc., he's a carpenter, I know that. Yes, St. Andrews Golf Club, wow.
Yeah.
That's an awesome place out there in St. Charles, technically, or West Chicago, I think, right?
It's in West Chicago, yes.
And Linford Winery, the famous people from Roselle, Illinois.
Right, they donate to our Mrs. Contestants.
Why not? I get it. Non-alcoholic wine. I get it. And Midwest Records Storage, Inc., very cool. Blakeland Funeral Homes, the City of Waukegan, CTS Mortgage, Barrett Heating and Cooling, Platinum Electric Supply. I mean, you got thousands of sponsors. We're going to have to get you some more. Maybe radio station WJJG. I'll get a couple $100,000 from Mr. Gentile. He's only the wealthiest auto dealer in the history of America.
Wonderful.
And he just retired after 54 years. A great Italian man. He told me to say hello because he recognized the name Robin Fina, so we're going to guess you're Italian, kind of, sort of.
There you go.
Capital Radio Group and Grand Appliance, and Grand Appliance, too. Amazing.
Up in Waukegan.
Up in Waukegan. Norix Group, Correctional Institutional Furniture. Seattle Sutton, they're a sponsor on our show, too. Mary Kay Cosmetics, the Hyatt Regency, Odyssey Cruises, Bloomers Walmart, and Wyatt Austin Jewelers. Unbelievable! Yeah. This is a big presentation, but of course it's very expensive to get these people in the hotels and put all on and hire the musicians and the whole 9 yards. It must be incredible.
We, you know what, George, we have a wonderful production company that comes in, Matt Davenport Productions. He's actually the producer for our international competition, and he brings in the most incredible stage, awesome performers. It really is a wonderful production.
Fantastic. Now, tell me how, a couple things. They can get on your website, give me that real slow, and then also how they can call you and if someone wants to join and fill out the application. What the heck, right?
Exactly.
How do they do that exactly?
What they would do, there are a couple ways. Anyone can always give the office a call and request an application over the phone.
Telephone number is?
And the phone number is 630-205-8219. But also, you know, I strongly encourage people to go on the website and take a look at the website. It'll give them a feel for how we are, the things that we're looking for. It talks about the different rules, regulations, the areas of competition. And you can actually go on the website and fill out an application online. And it'll submit it to me directly. So that's pretty much all we need is just an application. Again, then, you know, we would meet with our advisory board, and, you know, everyone who submits an application would get a response back telling them the status of that application.
Fantastic. Phone number 630-205-8219. Again, if you don't have a pencil now and you're doing your turkey dinner, I'm going to give it to you again, 630-205-8219. Robin, anything else happening that we should know about?
Just, you know what, I encourage everyone to, you know, even if it's something that you're considering, maybe not ready for this year, but, you know, come down and take a look at the production. We're going to be...
Well, I'm going to be there with this crew here from WJJG Radio. We're coming.
Wonderful.
We're going to watch it, and I think that's a good idea. If somebody's possibly a little shy, a little nervous, they can come down and see what an incredible... You're going to have it at the Palmer House, which is a beautiful room, and they'll have the time of their life, I know. It'll be great.
It's really awesome. And, you know, George, each contestant, I can't stress enough, they're all winners. I mean, honestly, these women are out there doing thousands of hours of community service, making a difference. And, you know, this pageant really is about them and showing what it is that our women are doing here in the states of Illinois and Indiana.
Well, you can call.
Proud of them.
Absolutely. You can call on this station anytime. We're behind you all the way. And Robin Fina, thanks for calling. It's an awesome situation.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, George. And you know what? Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Best of luck to you. See you later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Robin Fina, of course, from R.C. Crown Productions. And can you imagine that? Mrs. Illinois International, Miss Teen, all kinds of things. That's amazing. Well, let's go to a little music here. We'll be right back right after this here on Chicago's hometown station, WJJG, AM 1530, 708-493-1530. Enjoy the music.
When I woke up this morning,
Okay. Strike it up. AM 1530, Chicago's hometown station on 11 a.m. on a beautiful Thanksgiving morning. We are at 708-493-1530. If you have a cell phone, if you have a house phone, if you know how to use the phone, 708-493-1530. Welcome, Jimmy. Jimmy Wolande's here, everybody. My good man, Jimmy Wolande. Give me 5, brother. Good morning. Hi. And, yeah, you're on right now, Jimmy. Good morning, Jimmy. What's going on?
Good morning, Chicago. How are you? Happy
Absolutely.
Thanksgiving.
You know what? This is going to be a great interview because I can't see. I can move the microphone over. But Jimmy Wolande has encountered a great company here with his friend Joe Thomas called HD Ready. And HD Ready, in a nutshell, Jim, and I'll simplify it for the listeners out there, are the people that do the production for the incredible show called Soundstage on PBS Chicago, Channel 11, WTTW. Tell us about how you guys took over the old Soundstage and what you're doing with the new technology.
Well, it started with some relationships that Joe Thomas had, and there's a gentleman named Randy King, who is the vice president for WTTW and airing. And with this relationship, when Randy King took over there at WTTW, he was gracious enough to say what's going on in the programming at WTTW, that they need a little bit of an injection of new shows. So we went to him and said, look, our forte, my partner, has been in the industry for many, many years, has done some of the Brian Wilson production, used to own a record company called River North in Chicago, had gospel following and some other things in the background. But Joe, through his relationships, we won the contract. So as a starting of a new company, our mantra was high definition. So within high definition, what we want to do is film everything. Kind of our slogan is reshooting the world, and having everything in high definition. Our backgrounds from music has been my challenge my whole life, to always try to stay in the industry with music. And now at this point in my life, this is great. Joe and I, with some other partners, have won the contract, and we've brought Soundstage back to life nationally on television.
And high definition, again, kind of a technical term. We won't get too deep into it. But for years, since the 40s, television was invented, I think in the 40s. I wasn't living. Joe was living then. But the resolution was such that it was the old method. The high definition is about twice as sharp, or thousands of lines of resolution. You can literally see the cracks on the eyebrows. It's twice as good, like a beautiful painting. And this is an incredible change in the digital technology of the world. This is the difference in high definition. Extremely high quality picture, very realistic.
Well, I think you hit the major word there is digital. What they've been able to do with the digital technology is companies like Sony and Fuji and others have new technology from tape and the cameras that can take the lines vertically and horizontally, tightening them up very much so it almost looks, I don't want to say 3D, but today the Circuit Cities and many of the other retailers out there are selling these type of TVs, and the prices are coming down. And the FCC has mandated over the next 3-4 years that every one of the programs like CBS, NBC, WGN, they all have to have so much high-definition programming on television. So our goal is to have almost 50 to 100 great performers in high definition that will allow us to rebroadcast for I guess a lack of an analogy. If you think of I Love Lucy reruns, and today what they're worth, and how the pleasure of everyone from the old days and even children today love watching I Love Lucy. So we hope by capturing these type of acts and great performers in high definition, we'll have this film to be archived for many, many years for everyone to enjoy throughout the nation.
And that's exactly the issue there. In the old days, when they would say tape the Beatles concert at Comiskey Park, or I Love Lucy episodes, or any famous old movie, the silver nitrate, I think is the technical term, it degrades. And if you look at an old movie even today, it's not like it was in the 40s or 50s. It gets aged and it degrades. With digital technology, it literally is burning something in the metal. For 1,000 years, God willing, we're still on this earth, it'll be the same exact quality that it was when it was shot. And that's a huge step up in automation.
Totally.
That's the difference. So you're going to own all this content of all these great concerts. I know the first time that I worked with you, it was Lisa Marie Presley, and that was an amazing thing. Tell the fans about Lisa Marie, what kind of a young little woman she is. Very nice woman. You picked her up at a hotel, and she didn't really want to be fussed over, which kind of blew us all away. That was a great story, wasn't it, Jimmy?
Well, first of all, what we try to do is we have our guests, we put up all for their accommodations, fly them in, and most of them stay at the Ritz, and we're talking to the Hard Rock Hotel, which is a new hotel being built off Michigan Avenue, so some of our stars might be staying there in the middle of year next year. So with Lisa Marie, she was very shy and didn't look for a lot of attention by that means. She had sunglasses and hat and came up and introduced herself to me and said, "You're Jim," and I said, "Yes, I am." She had her bodyguard, but very, very soft-spoken and wanted to be treated normal. When we were headed down to WTTW, she said, "Excuse me, I have a call," and it was her mother, so that was kind of a neat thing for me. So
now the mother,
yeah.
Hello,
yeah,
the most famous beauty in Hollywood history.
Exactly.
So here we got my guy Jimmy Wolande from Elmhurst, Illinois, driving Lisa Marie, and the mother calls on the cell phone. Oh my God!
So they're very kind.
I died and I went to heaven, buddy.
So, you know, of all the stories of many of the artists that we've worked with over the last year and a half, that was one. George brought that up because I had told him that story, and if you think about it, you know, her father is a huge icon worldwide. So to be with her daughter, you know, it brought a little chills to me. Every other person, I would say, in most cases, you know, they're human. They have their needs as an artist, and they're a professional, and we try to treat them with the utmost respect and make sure that we put on a great production for everyone to enjoy.
Tell us about this incredible partner you've got, Joe Thomas. He himself has been in the music business as long as you can imagine. He's done a lot of big things, noteworthy. Joe does it all as a producer and executive director. Tell us about Joe Thomas's background for a minute.
Well, Joe lives in St. Charles, and his background was, if you remember, Brian Wilson at the time lived in St. Charles as well. They were
famous
neighbors.
Beach Boy, of course.
Absolutely. So what they had did is Joe started producing all his albums for him. In the meantime, Joe started a gospel label record as well, and has done very, very well. And he took the company public with Andrew Flipowski, and who we've all known in Chicago as a successful businessman over the years here. And taking that company public, Joe did very, very well. And in the midst of this, his background, both musically, as he played in front of 40,000 people, so he filled in as one of the keyboardists for Beach Boys on tour. He was the backbone to some of the Michael Jordan slogans when Michael was here in his heyday in Chicago. So Joe's history and knowledge and his just wherewithal of who's who in the entertainment business from Nashville to L.A. is just incredible. So the other partners and myself we really cherish to have him as a partner to teach us this part of the industry. And it, like anything, it's 3 degrees of separation, and it's a bit of a who you know. And I think a lot of people were amazed that when I switched careers, that all of a sudden, you know, you've got Lisa Marie, Sheryl Crow, and many of the other famous artists. All
just
of a
to
sudden,
name a few: Chris
yeah.
Isaac, Dennis DeYoung, yeah. Peter Cetera, the Chicago group. I mean, Dan Fogelberg blew me away.
Yeah,
blew me away.
Great show, and you know he's from Peoria.
There you go.
Another. Great Illinois boy.
You've had how many broadcasts roughly at this point?
We've our every series is 13 shows.
Yeah.
So and then WTTW and through the PBS system they rebroadcast these.
Right.
Several times. So we just finished with Alanis Morissette 2 weeks ago, and now that will be shown starting in April of 2004. So that'll be our second series.
Got it.
And then there'll be reruns on that, and then in February we start filming a third season as partners with PBS.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, now tonight on national TV, we're going to have Farm Aid. And Jimmy, tell us about it, what time, and it's literally on hundreds of stations tonight. And the arrangement of the guests tonight is absolutely amazing. And thank God that the Sun-Times did a full pager and a half today by the famous critic, Mr. Hoekstra. Talks all about your company, talks about Joe Thomas, and Farm Aid is tonight. So what better way to spend Thanksgiving than watching, here in Chicago, of course, Channel 11, Jim. Tell us about how that went about in Columbus and what happened in that great event.
Well, Farm Aid has been 18 years in the running, and they've historically always have shown it live. And for the first year, we approached them through the contacts that Joe had and said, did you ever think about doing this in post-production and showing it then on TV? Well, moving forward from that, Randy King is a great gentleman who's on on WTTW staff, who came up with a great idea and said, what better than Farm Aid? Here we are trying to support family farmers in this country, and the issues there are factory type farming versus family farmers to create fair trade and pricing for crops for family table of food. So anyways, Randy King said, why don't we, if I can get this thing aired on PBS on Thanksgiving, what do you think? So we had gotten that through partnership sold, and we went to Columbus, Ohio, and we have it airing tonight in Chicago at 8 o'clock, Farm Aid, and it is in post-production, and HD Ready, our company, did all the editing and shooting and filming. We took our crew and some of PBS's crew on the road. So it was our first time out on the road, and we had a great time doing it. And tonight, I think you'll see a wonderful show and a great lineup. The four founders are John Mellencamp, Willie Nelson, Neil Young, and newest to the membership is Dave Matthews, who has a great following.
Jim, could you give any more smaller names here, Jimmy? Dave Matthews, Mellencamp, Willie Nelson, Neil. You must be kidding. Neil Young,
Brooks and Dunn, Sheryl Crow. I mean, there's So the good news for all those football fans, after you're done watching football and eating your second helping of turkey, flip on at 8 o'clock. Try PBS Channel 11. It is great stuff that they're showing on TV these days. And if you're looking for a little music, I think this is a great snippet of music, post-produced. And Farm Aid, I must say, I was touched when I saw everyone from the industry hold together and try to say, look, the family farmers are what we're about, bringing great food, healthy food, fresh food to the tables of our people.
What's going to happen if they're all gone? Then we're going to import food like we import Volkswagens. I mean, it's not going to work. We're going to lose out in this country. They're going to take control of us. Well, do I sound like a conspiracy here? I mean, no, but it is very serious.
It is long term. It's for our health of our children's children, and I think factory farmers have their place in the industry. We're a country that's built on from the old industrial days.
Thanksgiving. I mean, look at the articles of the Mayflower. I mean, corny as it sounds, I mean, the Mayflower was to come here to farm. That's really what it was about. They wanted to get their butts out of Europe because it was rough times in those days, 1600s, in England and Germany, and hey, let's go to America, and they changed the world. So here we are 200 years later still arguing about it.
And I got to thank Dave Hoekstra for doing this article for Soundstage. So great television, to read the Sun-Times, great paper, to have that type of, I don't even call it advertisement, for the family farmers to have this type of publicity. It's fantastic, and I hope everyone enjoys the show tonight.
Hey, Jimmy, let's go a little music. Hang around, okay?
Sounds great. Thank you.
I've been in football all my life, really, and I don't know whether I'm particularly qualified to do anything else except to be a part of this game. I went to law school. I did a lot of things, but I've been in football so long that I don't know, as I mentioned, whether I'm qualified to do anything else. I want to say this, that it's a great game. It's a game of great lessons. And I think it's a symbol, too, of what this country's best attributes are. And that's courage, and a stamina, and a coordinated efficiency or a teamwork. And it's a Spartan type of game. I mean by that it takes Spartan qualities in order to be a part of it, to play it. And I speak of the Spartan qualities of sacrifice and self-denial rather than that other Spartan quality of leaving the weak to die. And true, it's a game of violent contact. And yet, because of that violent contact, it demands a discipline which I think you will seldom find in any other place in this world today. And it's more than the National Football League. It's more than the American Football League. It's rather the people who go to make up those leagues. It's the Grangers and the Stars and the Hudsons, the Giffords, and it's the hundreds of thousands of high school players and college players who take part in it annually. And it's the millions more like yourself who watch it either in the park or on TV. It's a way of life, really, to those particular people who are a part of it. It's more than a game. And regardless of what level it's played upon, it still demands those attributes of courage and stamina and coordinated efficiency, and goes even beyond that. But it is a means, it provides a mental and physical relaxation to everybody that watches it, like yourself. There are other great lessons, too. For example, there are hundreds of thousands of Americans that take part in this game annually, and yet it's completely uninhibited by either racial or social barriers. The only true satisfaction that a man receives is when he is a part of the successful whole. True satisfaction. It also teaches the qualities of sacrifice and self-denial. But more than that, the game of quick decisions and strategy. And it requires a proper psychological and emotional attitude in order to win. But more important than any of those things, each man must contribute to the spirit. And the spirit really is the cohesive force that binds 11 hardened and talented people into a team, into an irresistible force. Just as each of you must contribute to the spirit of your company in order to bind it into a successful operation. Just as each of you must have the proper psychological and emotional attitudes in order to sell. There's no difference in our game and your game.
Another timely tip from the Illinois CPA Society.
Is separation anxiety getting you down? Without the proper advice, a divorce can be more than just emotionally taxing. Your settlement agreement could contain some real tax surprises. To protect your interests, you should obtain a valuation of business assets, develop support arrangements that make sense, and create a settlement that will minimize the amount of taxes you will have to pay.
Be smart. Ask your CPA.
If you are anything like me, holidays and special occasions can be the most frustrating of times. Finding the perfect gift for those closest to you is often the most difficult task. Well, I have the perfect solution. For well over a decade, Continental Entertainment has been producing videotape photo albums that make the ideal gift for anniversaries, weddings, birthdays, or any other special occasion. They take your standard photographs, copy them to videotape, and then add a custom music soundtrack of your choice, creating a beautiful family photo album that can be played on any conventional VCR. And the cost? Probably a lot less than you think. So if you have dusty photo albums full of forgotten photographs, give them new life and preserve them for generations to come in this dynamic new format. For information on this most unique and treasured of all gifts, call the Continental Entertainment Group at 630-213-0200 or visit their website at www.continentalentertainmentgroup.com. After all, memories are the greatest gifts of all.
Hi, this is Dr. Wayne Chikowitz, naturopath and licensed clinical nutritionist. I've been in practice 25 years, and in those 25 years, I treat low back, neck, shoulder, and joint disorders. I'm a diplomat in pain management and also a board-certified naturopath and clinical nutritionist. If you are suffering from low back pain, muscle soreness, joint disorders, rotator cuff, knee problems, hip problems, headaches, please call my office at 1-708-656-7000. We have the latest equipment in treating pain management cases. We also use clinical nutrition. Again, please call 1-708-656-7000. And we'll be there to try to make you feel better. Thank you. And don't forget to tune in to my radio program Wednesdays at 10 a.m. on AM 1530 WJJG, your new hometown station.
If you want to double that business, you get a program or get a sponsorship here on WJJG. If you want, Joe Gentile will do the commercial personally for you, or you can do your own. But if your business, you want it to improve, listen to what I tell you. We can do a job for you, and we have a lot of spots open, which means we can offer you a whale of a deal if you decide to be a sponsor on the great JJG. Just call me personally, Joe Gentile, at 847-381-7500, or call me at the station, 1-708-493-1530. This is only for people who want to improve their business. If you don't care, it doesn't make any difference. I guarantee you, we will double your business in 30 days, 1-708-493-1530. Get on while you can. Get on the great JJG, and let's do some business.
Hey, I'm Jimmy Damon. I must tell you, I'm very proud to be able to introduce my new CD. It's called Jimmy Damon Sings Sinatra to Elvis. We're doing an introduction because we trust that the audience out there is going to love this kind of music, and also we want you to call the station, which is area code 1-708-493-1530, and if you want to purchase it, we're going to do something different this time. We're going to have all you folks call the station, and therefore we can see, you know, how this thing is going over, and you folks can enjoy being listeners to the great station of WJJG.
Giacchino's Restaurant, 5201 St. Charles in Bellwood. They've been there 30 years. They're catering, they have carry-outs, and they have private parties up to 50 people any day of the week. All you have to do is call Nella or Jack at 708-544-0380 for the best Italian cuisine in the western suburbs. You can't beat Giacchino's.
Uncommon Virtue is a new radio show on WJJG AM 1530, Wednesdays from 4 to 5. Well, this copy doesn't have their names.
Yeah, sorry about that. They're really going for like the mysterious angle or something.
Mysterious. Okay then. All I can tell you is that they wear capes in the studio. And that's it. Who wears capes anymore? I don't know. To explain the show simply, imagine a grizzly bear battling a great white shark. Painfully thoughtful. Or it's like when your friend does something completely stupid and breaks his leg. Painfully funny. You just gotta laugh sometimes. Of course, then help him. Uncommon Virtue, Wednesdays 4 to 5 on WJJG, AM 1530. You've heard Joe talk about it. Yes, it's goji. Berries that are harvested from the Himalayas, not even touched by human hands. Do you want goji? You've heard Joe. He sounds great. He's more chipper, full of life, and yes, a little bit nicer. I love goji. It makes my job easier. If you would like to get your hands on some goji, all you have to do is contact Eileen Colella. She's a nutritional consultant, and her number is 630-290-4544. KeepMeFit@AOL.com. That's all one word. That's KeepMeFit@AOL.com. So visit her on the web and tell her that you heard about it on WJJG, AM 1530.
Tune in to WJJG every day at 4 o'clock for the 4 o'clock stock report. Brought to you by the Midwest Financial and Investment Services. Listen every day at 4 for your Duke of Dollars, Sir Joseph Johnson, to give you all the ins and outs of the day's trading. That is all.
As we give thanks during this holiday season, our customers are at the top of the list. We recognize that our success as a community bank depends on the loyalty of our customers. Thanksgiving is a time for reflection, and we at National Bank of Commerce have much to be thankful for this year. Now is an especially appropriate time to say we appreciate your business. Our success and longevity would not be possible without you. We will continue to keep you informed of any new products and services we have to offer. And if you ever have any questions or need help regarding your financial needs, please feel free to stop by or call us at 708-544-5500. Thanks to all of you from us at National Bank of Commerce. We appreciate your business and hope to continue to serve you in the coming year. Have a great holiday. National Bank of Commerce is located at 5500 St. Charles Road in Berkeley.
AM 1530, WJJG. And you'll find the rhythms on time. Line after line going straight to your mind. So type in the bass is what we're all about. Moving your way through the bass is no doubt. Roll up the groove melody is the